The terminal buzzed with the usual chaos. Rolling suitcases, rushed footsteps, impatient sighs. Marcus Reed, sharp suit, calm presence, stepped into the first-class boarding lane. His movements carried the ease of a man who'd seen boardrooms, not just airports. A man used to commanding respect. But today, he wasn't in his private jet. He had chosen commercial travel, quietly, anonymously. As he handed his boarding pass to the attendant, the young woman at the counter smiled politely. But there was a flicker of hesitation in her eyes. Flight attendant, whispering to colleague, Seat 2A? Are you sure? Marcus heard it. He didn't react. He'd learned long ago that silence could be louder than anger. Still, something in the air already fell off. Marcus Reed, billionaire, CEO, owner of a tech empire that stretched from New York to Silicon Valley. To the world, he was power in human form. But here, in this airport terminal, he was just another black man being quietly measured, judged, and questioned. Marcus slid into his seat. Leather, wide armrests, privacy, exactly what he paid for. He adjusted his watch, pulled out his tablet, and exhaled slowly. Maybe the whispers were just nerves. Maybe he could actually enjoy this flight. Then it happened. A white passenger, early 50s, salt and pepper hair, expensive cufflinks, stopped at Marcus's row. His face twisted in irritation. White passenger to flight attendant. There must be a mistake. My seat's here. No way? The attendant hesitated, glanced at Marcus, then back at the man. Marcus, calm, firm. No mistake. This is my seat. White passenger, snapping. Impossible. Check again. The attendant's forced smile cracked. She leaned toward Marcus. Flight attendant, quietly. Sir, could you maybe switch? It would make things easier. Marcus's eyes narrowed. Marcus, easier for who? The cabin fell into an uncomfortable silence. Passengers turned. Some curious, some annoyed, some whispering. In that moment, Marcus wasn't just a CEO. He wasn't just a man with wealth beyond imagination. He was being reduced to something smaller, something society still whispered. You don't belong here. The white passenger crossed his arms, smirking. White passenger. Come on, let's not drag this out. You can move back. I'm sure economy has space. Marcus's jaw tightened. Marcus, steady, unshaken. I don't think you understand. I don't move. Not for money. Not for threats. And certainly not for arrogance. The flight attendant shifted uncomfortably. Her radio crackled. Another crew member walked over. Second attendant, whispering to first. Should we call the captain? This is getting tense. Across the aisle, passengers murmured. Some pulling out phones, recording. Phones, the silent weapon of the modern age. One moment of injustice, one flicker of bias, and suddenly the whole world is watching. The captain himself finally appeared, tall, uniform pressed, eyes sharp. Captain, stern. What's the problem here? The white passenger jumped in. White passenger. This man's in my seat. Get him out. I won't fly otherwise. The captain turned to Marcus. Captain, cold. Sir, can I see your ticket? Marcus handed it over calmly. The captain read it. His expression shifted. Irritation, then disbelief, then something uglier. Captain. Well, maybe it would be best if you just moved. For everyone's comfort. Marcus leaned back in his seat, utterly composed. Marcus, voice low, powerful. Captain, do you have any idea who you're speaking to? The captain scoffed. Captain, I don't care who you are. On this plane, I decide what happens. A beat of silence. Marcus reached into his jacket pocket, pulled out a sleek, black leather wallet. Inside, his executive ID. But not just any ID. It bore the crest of his company, a trillion-dollar empire whose contracts funded airlines, airports, even government agencies. He held it up, slowly, calmly. Gasps rippled through first class. Marcus, "You're right, Captain. You do decide what happens on this plane. But I decide what happens to this airline." The captain froze. The attendants froze. Even the arrogant white passenger's smirk faded. Marcus typed swiftly on his tablet. Within seconds, a secure app lit up. He turned the screen toward them. "Marcus, I just contacted my board. Effective immediately, every contract my company holds with your airline is under review. Which means, Captain, while you may still have your wings, your airline may not have its future." The silence was crushing. The attendants stammered. Flight attendant, "Sir, please, we didn't—" Marcus cutting in. "Save it. You've shown me exactly what this airline thinks of men like me. And now the world will see it too." Passengers gasped. Cameras flashed. The story was already going viral. The captain's radio buzzed desperately. The voice of ground control barked through. "Ground control, radio. Captain, we just received word from HQ. Effective immediately, your crew is relieved of duty. Security is waiting at the gate." The attendants' faces drained of color. The captain stumbled back. In a matter of minutes, power shifted. A captain who thought he ruled the skies. A crew who thought their whispers meant nothing. All of them grounded, fired, stripped of the arrogance they wore like armor. Marcus stood, finally leaving his seat. He adjusted his tie, looked directly at the trembling staff. "Marcus, you tried to shrink me, to move me, to silence me. But today, you move, not me." With that, he picked up his bag, walked calmly down the aisle, each step deliberate. Passengers watched, wide-eyed. Some whispered his name. Some clapped quietly. The captain and crew stood frozen, cornered by security, as Marcus walked past them without another glance. Respect isn't given in titles, uniforms, or fancy seats. It's proven in how you treat others. That day, Marcus Reed reminded the world of a truth too many forget. Dignity cannot be reassigned. Not to another seat, not to another row. Dignity stays where it belongs.